All right, good evening. Day 39. We made it out here. This is Monday, February 9th, the day after the Super Bowl, 5:15. So did not get up this morning. And the reason why, I got this brace that was coming in today, due in today. I got some elbow pain going on right in there. So this is a compression sleeve. It's Jaffic. And I'm not gonna lie, it feels pretty good. But we're gonna give it a shot. So I waited till this came in, and so did the workout. I got to sleep in a little bit this morning, so that was always good. And we're back at it. So day 39. Let's see, 11.7% complete after today, 11,700 reps. So we're doing the vegan 300. Again, that's 300 pounds of meat are eaten every single year by the average person, or average about 300 pounds of meat of animals. And all plants have protein. And we've been vegan over 9 years. So I'm out here showing you that you can be strong, fit, and healthy without eating any animals whatsoever. As always, I'm responding to a comment from this one today is Melon Man YT. So talking about plants, he said maybe they're sentience. And so we talk about sentience, and that's the experience, the ability to have an experience, is on a level that we do not know or not yet understand. We already know that they respond to certain things, such as being injured. So this one's, again, I think when you talk about plants versus animals, we all know that plants are not sentient. They don't have an experience. They can't have an experience. They don't have a brain. They don't have a central nervous system. When we look at animals, they have a brain, they have a central nervous system, they have pain receptors, they have eyes, they have ears, they have a mouth, right? They have their own experience. And it may not be like our experience, but they are certainly having their own unique experience. And when you talk about plants responding to certain things such as being injured, right? This is stimuli, responding to stimuli. But plants do not have pain receptors. They don't have a central nervous system. They don't have an experience, so they are not sentient. And science has already proven that animals are sentient. They are having their own experience. So people like Melon Man and want to go ahead and say that plants, oh, we don't know yet. Science, no, science has shown and demonstrated that plants are not having an experience. They are not sentient. They are not, even though they are living. They are living. I'll get you that. Plants are living, but they are not sentient like animals. And then my next question to Melon, okay, cool. If they're not sentient, we don't understand. Which would you rather kill with a knife? Would you rather kill a carrot, a tomato, or would you rather kill a cow with a knife? And tell me which one you'd rather kill. So, people like Melon Man that think that, they compare animals to plants. It's one of these things where, oh, plants are living too, and then going ahead and playing unknown or saying, like we're ignorant, like we don't know yet of what plants experience. Well, we know plants don't scream. We know that they don't feel pain. We know that, right? And then that's the reason why firefight. I think I'm not sure who said this, but firefighters go out of their way. They go into the house not to save plants, not because the plants are screaming, but the humans in there are screaming, or the dogs are in there screaming, or the dogs are barking. The dogs want to get out, but the firefighters go in there, and we want to save humans. We want to save animals. We don't want to save plants because plants aren't sentient. They're not having any experience. All right, so that's my rant on that. It is 41 degrees in here. My wife was just working out, and she had the heater on, so it's 41 degrees in here. We might be sweating here. We might be sweating here, but we're day 39. Hey, thanks for joining. Day 39. Stay hydrated. We got the vegan 300 going on. All right, if you got a comment, go ahead and drop it. I'm going to respond to it. Day after the Super Bowl. Feeling good. I got my new elbow brace on. This thing is for like heavy lifting, but it's the compression, and I got some, it feels good. And I don't think it's going to cause too much of an issue. I got a wrapper here. These are good Laura bars, by the way. Laura bars. Good little snack. Vegan, dairy free. I'm not gonna lie, this feels good. We're doing 25 pounds. And I certainly don't want to get injured. We got a long way to go to get to 100,000 repetitions. So I noticed this pain coming on. And I'm not really taking many days off. I only took 1 day off so far. But I think it's this movement here that causes some, some either tendinitis or golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, one of these. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I got to take care of it. Because otherwise, we're not gonna hit our 100,000 if I get injured, and I can't allow that to happen, because then it'll be like, oh, see, told you, shoulda ate meat. Nah, that's not the case. We're doing this all plants, baby. We're doing this all plants. Oh, wife was out here rowing. All right, we're almost set up, ready to go. Yeah, but Melon Man thinks that plants are sentient on a different level. And like, come on, we know better than that. And responding to stimuli is certainly that's not feeling pain. That's not sentience. They're not having an experience. They have no brain. They have no central nervous system. So come on, let's be honest with ourselves. Much rather eat plants than animals. All right. So plants are not sentient. And regardless of a level of sentience that we don't know yet, we know that they're not having an experience like the animals that we consume. And sentience is the ability to cause or feel pain and suffer. Like if you're sentient, you have the ability to suffer. Plants are not suffering, promise you. But the animals that we eat are certainly suffering. All right, so just think about that. Next meal that you have, think about their sentience. Think about that. All right, day 39, here we go. We're about to get after this. If you got a comment, go ahead and drop it. I'll respond to it. All right, but this thing is feeling pretty good. I got some compression here, so we're gonna see if this helps at all. All right, let's get going. Here we go. 10 rounds of 10 of the Vegan 300. Let's do it. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, not gonna lie, it felt different, you know, with some compression here. I don't know. Got to get you used to it. But we'll see. See how it goes. All right, hope everyone enjoyed the Super Bowl. We talked about it yesterday, but 1.5 billion chicken wings were consumed yesterday. That's 16,000. I think it was 200 and I think 3 chicken wings every second. That's crazy. That is a crazy amount. So I don't think people realize about how many that is. That is a lot. And you don't need to eat any. You're not eating chicken wings for health, you know? But all right, first round in. I think it's kind of slipping down. I don't know. All right, here we go. Round 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Trace. He's leaving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, slipping down. Oh no. Not used to wearing anything. But certainly got to do something. Something's causing it pain or one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Yeah, we're gonna have to adjust this. Slipping down on me. All right, let's see if that helps. All right, just finished round 4. One feels a little better. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, timed out. All right, this is round 5. Finishing up round 5. All right, there's halfway. This might be a little too high now, but all right, here we go. Downhill from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, this is round 6. All right, round 6 complete. Round 7, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all right, this is finishing up round 7. All right, round 7 done. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all right, we're finishing up round 8 right here. $39 now. The heater's off, but my wife had it up to 41, and it's not insulated up top, so temperature will quickly go down, but much warmer than it has been for us at 28 degrees. We're like 11, 12 degrees warmer. All right, there's 8. We got 2 more rounds to go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, finishing up round 9 here. All right, here we go. Last round. Last round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 100. All right, last row. That's it. 27:53. Another day in the books. First one with this elbow brace on. I got 2 of them. They came today. I've been having a little elbow pain, right? Kind of on the lower elbow there. You know, I think it's clearly from the movements. I'm not sure exactly where, you know, maybe bringing it down. I'm going to try to put this down, the resistance down on the row, because maybe it's happening from the row, but I think mainly the dumbbells. So I will say it felt secure. Just got to get used to it. You know, I'm not used to working out with any braces on. I did use knee braces, you know, like some neoprene knee braces. This one's got straps, and put it on over my sweatshirt here. Felt a little, you know, definitely a little different, but like, yeah, right down there. Right down there is where I feel a little bit of pain. Nothing up here, just really down there. Right underneath there. So just being careful, because I got a long way to go, man. It's only day 39. We got like nearly 300 more days of this, so I'd hate to get injured early. So I think I should go ice this, but right in there, you know, and it could have hit it on something, you know, but I think it's, you know, definitely a tendon or something going on. So got this brace here. It's called Jaffic. So we're gonna see. I mean, it felt good. I just gotta get used to it. We're gonna keep using it, and I should go ice it. I really should go ice it, but that's what we got. We're not gonna let it stop us. We might have to modify though. So, you know, I never know. Might have to drop the weight. I don't know. We'll see. We got options. But we're still gonna get 100,000 reps. That's the goal. That's the goal. All right, but let me put away this rower. And it's a great day so far. Great day. I'm glad I got this in, because that was the plan. It really was the plan. I knew this brace was coming, and I know I wanted to use it. So we did. I'm going to kind of leave my left arm. I'm going to rest my left arm as much as possible. So, you know, so I'm not going to use it. I'm basically going to treat it like, you know, like I would an injury. Just stay off it, ice it, you know, or soreness. And ideally, I probably wouldn't want to use it at all, you know, but I think we can work through it. At least that's my plan. You know, I'm not a doctor. I don't plan on going to the doctor about it. We're going to self-diagnose this as, you know, a strain. And, you know, maybe it was from when I used the 35 pounds too early. Maybe tweak something. And then it just kind of over time. But let's say maybe I'll drop the weight. Maybe we'll drop the weight and go lighter and see if we can recover. You know, I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how the brace works. See if we're getting better. I'll ice it. And, you know, we'll just go from there. All right, day 39 in the books, 11,700. That means 30 3,900 total repetitions. Well, actually, no, of each movement. So of strict push-ups. So far this year, 3,900 strict push-ups and 3,900, call them dumbbell swings overhead, and 3,900 front squats with the dumbbells. Mostly, I'd say mostly 15 pounds. We then transitioned up to 20 pounds, and now currently still doing 25 pounds. There was one weekend where I used 35-pound dumbbells. I think that's too heavy, especially now with the injury. I don't feel like I should go that high right now. So we're not going to go there yet. So we're gonna just monitor this injury. Like I said, I got this brace. We're gonna use this. I'm gonna see if I can ice. I kind of hate ice, and I never iced I never iced anything really. I did for a little bit, but we'll see. I got a long way to go though to get to 100,000. So, and then to be kind of injured this early on is it's kind of frustrating, but we're gonna modify. We got the brace. We're gonna do smart things. We might have to drop the weight and let it recover, see how we do. But I'm not gonna give in yet. Not gonna stop me. Look at me sweating. Look at the steam coming off my head. It means I'm working hard. All right, back to Melon Man YT. He talks about plants. Maybe their sentience is on a level that we don't know yet or do not yet understand. And we understand it enough to know that it's not on the level of the animals that we send to slaughter and contribute to killing. We know that sentience, right? They're on a completely different level, especially with what we know. We know that. We understand that. So that right there is, you can call it that a sentience that we don't understand. You can say that we don't understand it, but we clearly understand that it's not on our level. It's not on the animal's level. And when we talk about sentience, it's the ability to have an experience. We know if you look at our dogs, if you look at any other animals, they are certainly having an experience through their own lens, through their own eyes, whether it's, it's not like ours in the sense of what we experience, but we certainly know that they are having their own unique experience. And we know if you're able to have an experience, you're able you're able to suffer. And if you can suffer and you can feel pain, we know that. We know that we're causing animals pain and suffering, and we're killing them. We're ending their experience. They have a life, and in their life, it's their own experience. And we're ending that. We're choosing to contribute to continuing to farm them, breed them into existence, and then send them to slaughterhouses so they can be killed, so they can be slaughtered, chopped up in pieces, and sold to stores in nice packaging. Okay? So the second part of this, we already know that they respond to certain things such as being injured. Yes, we know that plants, they respond to stimuli. They respond to stimuli and things and light and water, and they certainly respond to stimuli. And we know that they're living, but we know that they're not on a level of sentience, of having an experience. And how do we know that? They don't have a central nervous system. They don't have a brain. They don't have pain receptors. They don't have eyes. They don't have ears. They don't have a nose. And all of the animals that we consume, all of those animals have those things. They have a brain. They have a central nervous system like us. They have eyes like us. They have ears like us. They have a nose like us. They can sense certain things like us. So we know and we understand that their sentience, plants' sentience, we know that it's not on a level of the animals that we slaughter. Like, we understand that. So Melon Man, I'm not sure what you're trying to say here. You can say that they're on a level of sentience, right? Like, okay, call it whatever you want, but we know that they don't have those things I just mentioned. They don't have a brain. They don't have a central nervous system. So You know, that's what we do know, and that's what we do understand. So going off of what you know and going off of what you currently understand, why contribute to killing animals for food? And if it's not necessary, why do we continue to do it? Why do you continue to do it? And responding to stimuli is not having an experience. And being injured, sure, they chemical response, they send off warning signs to other plants. They do certain things. Absolutely, they're incredible. Plants are incredible. But we know that they're not on a level of sentience as animals or us. We know that. So to lean on that, and is that the reason why you still contribute to killing and eating animals? That's not the reason. That's absolutely not the reason. So Melon Man, YT, that's what I'll respond with you. Hey, if you got a comment, drop it. I'll go ahead and post it and respond to it real time. I got some folks watching, so thank you for joining. Go ahead and drop a comment. I'll post it and respond to it. If you got questions, if you got comments, no matter how ridiculous, no matter what you want to say, go ahead and say it. I'll post it. If you want to come on live, go ahead and click the link. I'll bring you on live. We can talk about it. Say what you want to say. You can ask me questions. Everybody ran. It's tough getting people on here, man, to talk or drop comments, it's tough. But I really want to have a discussion with people, especially if you eat animals. I really want to have a discussion with you. I'm not going to bite, but I got a lot of people respond with comments that, I think it'd be a good discussion. I think it would be a good talk. So if you're interested, man, click the link and come on and join me. I'll talk to you. I'll chat. But if not, you can drop a comment and I'll go ahead and have a conversation with you through the comments if you want to do that. All right, but right now I just responded to Melon Man YT, and we talked about how plant sentience is not on a level that we understand yet. But we understand enough to know that they're not on our level of sentience, or they're not on a sentience, meaning they have an experience. And they don't have eyes, ears, brains, a central nervous system. They don't have pain receptors. And all the animals that we continue to eat, they do have those things. So we know enough. We know enough. And if I ask you if you'd rather cut a carrot or cut the throat of a cow, which would you rather? Which one do you think is sentient? Like which one would it make sense to cut for food? And I think we'll all answer the carrot. Even if you don't like carrots, nobody wants to cut the throat of a cow or a pig. Nobody. Not even you. Even if you eat meat, even if you love steak, you don't want to cut the throat of a cow. And you don't want to pull the trigger of a bolt gun going through their head. Nor do you want to shoot a rifle at their in between their eyes and call it humane and say it's the best way to die. But these cows and these animals don't need to die in order for you to eat. So you're just doing it for taste and pleasure, and that's just because of what you're used to. And so even if you don't want to do it, you're contributing to it. So I'm asking you to think about not contributing to it. Think about making plant-based options. That's all. So if you're watching this and you're about to have dinner, like why not make a plant-based meal? Choose a plant-based option instead. Because why? Because they're not sentient. Plants are not sentient. They don't have an experience. Even if plants on a sentience and we don't yet understand it, we understand that they're not on a sentience level of the animals that we eat. So those animals, they all have their own experience. They all have a central nervous system. And if we talk about sentience, that means the ability to suffer. They have the ability to suffer. Let me pull over this chair. My knees hurt. About to have to wear knee braces. Got this weight bench here. I'm going to sit on this. Much better. Oh, yeah, much better. I'm going to pull this over from now on. But I looked this up here. So, all right, here we go. Sentience. All right, you ready for this? Sentience is the capacity for subjective conscious experience, specifically the ability to feel sensations like pleasure, pain, and emotions. Look at that. Derived from the Latin sentire, means to feel. It means having raw feels or experiences that feel a certain way to the subject. And we talk about the subject. The subject is the animal that we're talking about: cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys, all the animals that we consume, all the animals that you consume. And we know that plants don't have that sentience. All right. So the scientific consensus, this is the scientific consensus, suggests that mammals, birds, fish, and many invertebrates are sentient. Notice how they didn't say plants there. Plants are not sentient. The scientific consensus. So you can look this up. You don't need to trust me. You don't need to believe me. All right, but here's the role in ethics. This is good. Sentience is often considered the threshold for moral status. All right, it's moral status. If an entity can suffer, meaning the animals, which all are proven to be sentient, right? The scientific consensus is that they are sentient. If an entity can suffer, it has direct interest in not suffering. So we know that animals certainly do not want to suffer. All animals, because they're sentient, they don't want to suffer. They run away from suffering and pain. They don't want to suffer. But yet we contribute to their suffering. As long as we continue to buy their body parts, we are contributing to their suffering over and over and over and over again in perpetuity. All right, making it being morally relevant. So that's the reason why it's morally relevant, right? Sentience matters. It's the ability to have an experience. All right, it's essential to animal rights, challenging the use of animals in research or agriculture. All right, so I mean, it's straightforward. That's sentience. It's the capacity for subjective conscious experience, specifically the ability to feel sensations like pleasure, pain, and emotions. And all of the animals have that. Just look at your dog. Look at your dog. Look at the animals out there. Like, watch your dog. If you have a dog, like, film your dog. This is what I do. And this is a good little practice. This is a good little exercise. Film your dog. Zoom in on your dog and zoom in on your dog and see what your dog is thinking about. Think about what your dog is thinking about. And do you think that your dog is having their own experience? Do you think that they have the ability to feel sensations like pleasure? Do you think that your dog has the ability to feel pain and other emotions? Like when you come home, does your dog wag their tail and come, and get excited and run around? I know my dog does. My dog goes and grabs a rope and brings it right to me, like wants to play. Like, here you go, Dad. Let's play. Let's tug this. Hold on to this end. So I'm gonna tug it. All right. So it's distinct from higher cognition or intelligence. So it's not talking about the intelligence level. All right, acting as the fundamental basis for moral consideration. So if they're sentience, they deserve moral consideration. I mean, that's what animal rights is all about. We know that animals are sentient. They have the ability to have an experience, and that is the fundamental basis for moral consideration. Sentient beings can experience suffering and well-being. So we know that animals don't want to suffer. We know this. We know this. All right. It's the threshold for moral status. If an entity can suffer, it has a direct interest in not suffering. This is key. We know animals don't want to suffer. The direct interest in not suffering. We know that animals want to run away from pain. They don't want to be hurt. They don't want to be caused pain. And that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we're doing. So we know that. All right, and so this is, I mean, it's very simple, right? If animals are sentient and plants are not, whether we understand plants on a level yet, we know that it's not on the same level as animals. And let me see here. The scientific consensus suggests that mammals, birds, fish, and many invertebrates are sentient. Notice how it didn't say plants. It didn't say tomato plants, carrots, cabbage, lettuce, chickpeas, tofu, like none of those. The scientific consensus. So if you do the research, if you don't just spew, responses like Melon Man here, oh, their sentience is on a level that we don't understand yet. But what we do understand, and the scientific consensus right now, as we speak, 2026, animals have the ability to feel pain and have their own experience. And that deserves moral consideration. That absolutely deserves moral consideration. It's the baseline for moral consideration. If they're sentient, they have an experience, and they have a direct interest in not wanting to suffer. That's it. All right, Melon Man. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps a lot of you. And I know that's helped me. Right? Once you know that an animal has an experience and plants don't, I mean, it's pretty straightforward on what the right decision to do is, and what we don't want to contribute to. Okay, and responding to stimuli is not having an experience. Responding to injuries, or responding to sunlight or water, or or heat and withering, like, that's not having an experience. So plants are not sentient. We know that. And even if we don't understand the level of sentience, we know that they're not on the same level as animals. And the scientific consensus shows you that. Scientists, the research says. All right. So those of you watching, if you think that plants are sentient and have an experience, well, you are wrong. Even the scientific consensus says that you are wrong. Plants do not have experiences. They don't have a central nervous system. They don't have pain receptors. They don't have a brain. They don't have eyes, ears, nose, mouth. But the animals that we contribute to killing and slaughtering and eating for food all have an experience, and they don't want to suffer. We know that, and that's why they deserve moral consideration. So that's where we say, is it morally acceptable to kill animals for food when we don't have to? Right then and there. And why? Because they are sentient. They have an experience. It's pretty straightforward. All right, so this is probably my best explanation of sentience and why animals deserve moral consideration, and why I think that you should consider giving them moral consideration. All right? That's all I got. That's all I got. We just hit an hour. So day 39 is in the books. Tell you, I got my elbow brace going. I feel pretty good. It's still a little sore, so I'm gonna try to ice it. And we'll see what happens from here. So I do plan on being out here day 40 days in. We're gonna cross 12,000 total repetitions. I'll have the brace on. I plan on doing it tomorrow morning. I got my brace. I got everything I need. And we'll go ahead and respond to a different comment tomorrow morning. All right, guys, the day after the Super Bowl, Seattle took that one. Congratulations to the Seahawks. We wanted them to win, and we did not want, the Seahawks didn't even want, and by the way, Seahawks are ospreys. They're considered ospreys, the birds. But 1.5 billion chicken wings were eaten yesterday. That's a lot of chicken wings. All right, so encourage you next Super Bowl, eat some cauliflower wings, and leave the chicken wings to the chickens. Okay? All right, guys, day 39 in the books, Monday, February 9th. We'll see you tomorrow, day 40. Have a great night. Peace.